Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. And in this video, I have something very cool to talk about with you guys because I think at this point in the game, it's really interesting because this game is very complicated when it comes down to each of these specific weapons, class setups, when we get into more complicated stuff like the wild cards and operator mods. And it does take a while to figure out. And basically, this is something that I've been using for a little bit, probably a couple weeks in this game, but I think it's getting more popularity over the last couple days in the community, especially because Drifter made a video on it. And basically it's the Titan Oppressor, which is the operator mod on the Titan, which the Titan has been a gun that I've been loving and enjoying, and ever since I've gotten this operator mod, I've gone back and forth between sort of having two class setups, one without the operator mod and one with, and I really think this is a very good operator mod in this game. I'm going to talk about it, show gameplay of course up on the screen, talk about what advantages it gives you, the class setup, everything you guys want to know, right? So if you guys could drop a like in this video, that would be amazing. Let's go for 1,500 likes. That would be absolutely incredible. I want to upload quite a few videos for this weekend, so if you guys can, keep smashing the likes and just supporting the content, it's absolutely insane. Our last one hit 1,000 likes in just a couple hours, so I'm uploading another one here, and it just, support is amazing. Keep smacking the like button. It only takes a second. Subscribe if you guys are new. I really appreciate all that stuff. And let's talk about the Titan Oppressor. So operator mods in this game are what you get when you max out the weapon. You have the ability to put an operator mod on, and it works sort of the same as an attachment. However, it costs 3 points to basically equip. 1 point on the wild card called operator mod, and then 2 points to basically equip it on, which is kind of weird. Normally it would only take 1 point for operator mod, 1 point for a wild card, 1 point to equip something, but I guess because of how strong operator mods are in this game, it actually takes that 2 points, so 3 points total to equip. So on certain guns they're not worth using, but on certain guns they're kind of necessary, and on other ones it's split. Now the Titan in this game is such a good gun basically either way, with or without this, and the reason why the Titan is so good is because of what I talked about in my last Titan video, which is the fact that even though they've been nerfing this thing and hitting it with all these nerfs to make it weaker, LMGs in this game have practically little to no flinch compared to other weapons, and that is huge in a gunfight game where it's going to be, gunfights are 150 health each. Flinching less is a major key, and to have that basically built like a grip 2 sort of effect kind of built in on an LMG as strong as the Titan is a major key. Now, what does the Oppressor do as far as an operator mod? Because that's what you guys probably want to know. Its description is it suppresses enemies, but this is basically what it does. When you shoot at people, you won't notice anything happening when you're using it, but the enemies sure will. And I'll show footage up on the screen. I hopped in with my buddy Reefy in a private match, and basically we got some perspectives, and you can see when bullets are anywhere in your vicinity, they can be a couple feet to your left, to your right, over your head, under your freaking feet. I don't know where, but as long as the bullets are around you and you can see whether it's coming from whatever directions, your screen will basically be shaking. Now, this is limited effectiveness. Number one, I think this is super duper effective against players that are more casual or newbie players, because as soon as they see this, they're going to start to freak out, and basically, you're going to get sort of free kills on them, and it's going to be something that's going to annoy your enemies and tilt your enemies, and it can still be fairly good against good players as well, because in these 1v1 gunfights, this is just like, I think this might be nerfed in the future, to be honest, and don't be surprised if this gets nerfed in the next patch or the patch after that, because how the Oppressor is a cool attachment, but what they put it on is absolutely insane, because the Titan has, the counter to the Oppressor is to flinch less, so the counter to the Titan Oppressor is the Titan in itself, so you basically get the best of both worlds. You're not going to be flinching, plus you're giving the enemies their normal flinch, plus the extra flinch from the Oppressor, and you don't even have to be hitting the bullets. As soon as you start spraying in the vicinity, the effect will start to go to work. So now, in my opinion, this is effective mostly when you have people in a sort of small area where you're going for a double kill or a triple kill, because the bullets will basically be affecting. If you're shooting at one person and hitting a target, and the double kill, usually it's going to be a person right beside them or around that area. Most of the time, if they're within 3 to 5 feet of them, they're going to be getting that effect also, and this Oppressor definitely does help to get double kills or triple kills in the game. Another thing that I think people are starting to do is, if you play in a party and run this a little bit, bit. I saw Drifter was talking about that, and I think that's something that definitely people are catching on to. I think that the tryhard community is catching on to that, and I really do think this thing will be receiving a nerf in the future, but as of right now, this is probably one of the best operator mods in this game. So that's what it works, that's how it works, that's how it's effective. I showed some footage up on the screen. Now, the question comes down to it, because there's a lot of operator mods in this game. There's a lot of stuff in this game that's just, oh good, I'll take that, but you only have the pick 10 system of a create a class system, and I'll probably be making a video soon of like how to construct your perfect class depending on, because everyone plays a different play style, and the class setups, I try to give the best setups that I can, and I give some really good class setups, but you know, there's so many different intricacies of it and stuff like that it really is complicated. But when it comes down to it, all the operator mods are pretty good, right? Most of them. Is this one worth the points? In my opinion, yes, but you have to give up a couple things for it. First of all, I give up my third attachment, which would have been extended mags anyway, so I have 75 bullets instead of 100. Not that big of a deal, because luckily we're talking about the overpowered Titan, which is an absolutely amazing gun, so that's basically, I'm willing to sacrifice that. And then I also have to sacrifice one more thing, so I either have to sacrifice my red dot sight, which personally I'm not willing to sacrifice that on the Titan. I don't really like the sights on the Titan. That's my personal preference. If you guys do like the sights on it, then feel free to you know, not run a red dot, because that would be good, because then you could run a third perk. Me instead, I actually sacrifice my third perk for the red dot. That's how important I think it is. I think it's especially good on a weapon like this when you're not going to be flinching, and it doesn't have an insane rate of fire. You know, you have a pretty average rate of fire with this gun, but strong damage, so you know, you want to be making sure that you're hitting your shots, and I like the red dot for that. So basically the whole class setup, when it comes down to it, with the operator mod, I do think it's worth it. And the whole class setup, when it does come down to it, is going to be the Titan with the operator mod, which uses a lot of points. I personally use the red dot, of course I just talked about that, and then I run quick draw and stock, which is amazing that you know, not very often do you get a setup where you're running an operator mod and 2 attachments, which is just insanity, but you're sacrificing some things with this. Perk 2, I always go gung-ho. I think it's pretty much necessary in this game, so that stays the same. And then perk 1, you can basically pick what you want here, and for when you're doing this, I suggest picking, you know, being wise, and you know, picking the most efficient for what you're doing. I had engineer on in this gameplay because I had just recently prestige, so I didn't really have any options. Scavenger, I would stay away from scavenger, because I think with this gun, it already comes with so many bullets. Plus, I run crash with it, which I think works great pairing up with this setup, so I don't have to worry about that. Because when you're only using 2 perks and one is gung-ho, which you kind of have to use because everyone else is using it to keep up in this game, that perk 1 should probably be either, you know, engineer, flak jacket, or tac mask. You make the decision of what is going to be most effective in that game. And of course, that all just like picking between those 3 perks, it all depends what you're going to run up against. If you're running up against people using grenades and battery, and I've said this before, flak jacket's the way to go. If you're running up against, more likely, I think people are going to be using secret grenades, different stuff like that, counter UAVs, and that's why I like tac mask. Personally, tac mask, for me, I still take it the majority of the time. Certain setups will go with flak jacket, and engineer can be pretty nice as well, especially for looking for like mesh mines or different stuff from the enemies. Engineer definitely is making a comeback and is getting, you know, is getting stronger in this game, and that first perk slot is probably the one that's the most competitive. Perk 2 is pretty much just gung-ho most of the time. Perk 3 can be a little bit more competitive, but perk 1 is definitely that most competitive slot, and that's what I like to run with for this full class setup. So in conclusion, I think everyone should, the thing with this Titan is it worth it? Yes, it's very, very strong. The negatives to it is, one negative would be that you don't really get fun while using it, because sure, you have fun by wrecking the enemies and getting kills and stuff like that, but you don't get to see the effects, although you are going to be making the enemies rage, and it's like a mini version of the strobe light, sort of. You know, it's not going to be as rage inducing as that, but you're going to be able to use a better weapon, because you're not going to be stuck with the SG-12 shotgun. You're actually going to have not only a usable weapon, but arguably a top 5 weapon in this game, which is the Titan, which, like, I think, guys, I really think the meta is starting to settle down. I mean, even Treyarch said in their latest update, or one of their latest posts, that basically they're trying to get into a more comfortable meta, because the updates have been rampant and rapid, and I think it's good that at least, you know, there's the problems with this game, the majority of the problems are, you know, there's still some problems with the current meta, which I still need to talk about, but I think that the majority of the problem, the biggest problem right now is like the DLC system, which I made a video talking about the other day, and I think that it's good that they actually did a lot of balancing changes, and then I think next they're going to work on this DLC system, because that's usually the trend of how it goes, and that's how it should be, because if people are paying for the game straight up, issues should be fixed before you try to sell basically more products to people, which would be the microtransactions and of course stuff that they're going to do. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys could smack a like on this video, I'd very, very much appreciate that, and just thank you guys for all the support so much. I have a lot of videos to cover this weekend, and this game is just, it's honestly really fun, and I knew it was going to be a good game, you know, Black Ops series and Treyarch, but they really have put together a nice product, and as long as these updates and stuff just continue to go decent, if not amazing, and they keep it up with, especially with the blackout and with zombies and multiplayer, they keep all those three running strong, I think this is going to be a great year, and hopefully a great couple of years for Call of Duty fans all over the place. So thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, and yeah, that's about it, guys. I will see you all in the next one. Check out some of my other videos, and peace out, guys.